addiction specialist, Dr. Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew, thanks for being with us. And again, I was a prosecutor for 10 years. We see this ravaging our families, our communities. It's something that you work on. What's the answer, Dr. Drew? How do we get our hands around this addiction crisis in America? We know you have all the answers. Go.
Magic dust. I will throw it down at it. But let me. Part of the answer is raising awareness. So let me do that first, which is if anybody'd like to be part of this event, it is actually tomorrow. We're heading out to Albuquerque. If you're in Albuquerque, you can find out more about it at kennedy24.com/recovering-america- live stream. You can also watch it on the live stream there. It's free. People can come show up, be a part of it. Bobby Kennedy will be there. I love the fact he's a recovering guy. He's been very supportive of raising awareness about this issue, and he has some very interesting ideas about what he would do if he gets into the federal government, which includes sort of residential style treatments. I'm going to hear more detail about what he's thinking, but it's something I've been thinking for a long time. The one thing we really don't have, we have a lot of acute care, but we don't have the residential care and the vocational rehab. And it's a slow process. We call it slow sobriety. So what's the solution? The solution, we've had the solution for a long time. We know how to treat addiction. The problem, of course, is getting people into the process of recovery and retaining them for long periods of time. We have lots of various sorts of medication assistance treatments that we can use that make recovery possible, but people just don't come in because part of the disease of addiction is denial. I think everyone understands that denial is a feature. In fact, it's so profound in addiction, we actually didn't coin the term, we start using the term anosognosia, which is a neurological block in the ability to see what's happening. And that people are progressing so far down the line now without treatment that they have anosognosia. And unless we can do things like take them by the hand and say, come with me, we can help you, and take them to the kind of place that Bobby Kennedys are talking about, it's going to keep getting worse.
But I also know that Bobby Kennedy wants to legalize marijuana at the federal level and use the federal tax on it to then open these rehabilitation and drug treatment centers and work on, treating not just drug addiction, but mental illness and PTSD. And you get into tricky territory with that, Dr. Drew. I think you'd agree, given the fact that there's been a huge spike in psychosis among young people because of that very marijuana use.
Absolutely, Dagan. And you and I, last time I saw you guys in studio, we were talking about this very issue. Right. And if you remember at the time, I said, I'm going to deal with whatever laws the people hand me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there will be consequences. I've always said if they decide to do it, I hope they will use whatever revenues or tax revenues that they can generate to at least educate people about the dangers of some of these things. I like the idea of also it going to treatment. I don't trust the government to do that properly, which is, again, that's a whole other issue. But the reality is, look, there's good treatment available. There's, 12-step is highly effective, and it's free. It's free. It's free. People can access it anytime. And now we have Zoom on top of that, where people can get outpatient treatment. They can get 12-step participation on Zoom. So there's a lot of availability if we can just get people in the door.
Dr. Drew, thank you so much for being here. And God, grant me this serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So thank you, sir.
Thanks, Doctor.
Always.
We're good. Thank you. Cheers.